when you
Back
have
here in screen recording mode, going to review
this big old
a
behemoth.
video of the reckless
And make no
decisions
mistake about it, this is a big one.
that this
Been raining a lot,
wannabe
so it's been muddy out here.
is
Well,
trying to
I'm
present to
explain to you for a
everyone.
second. And
And as you
again,
can
that's
tell,
the reason why I
most
continually
of his
keep saying
subscribers don't watch his
that
videos
Israel needs to
anymore.
be an
So if you're
agricultural
still
people.
subscribed to Charles Dowell Jr.,
So we
then
go
you
with
can
John Deere
freely
because we know it's the best.
unsubscribe to their videos
But that right there is
and
the
move on
cutter.
from there
And
to someone who's
we
actually
use one
going to
for cutting,
teach, instruct,
and we'll let
and
it lay
preach to
out
you
for a couple of days to dry after that.
what is actually in the book.
And then this
Instead of
one
their
would
own
have that
vision.
rake that many of you probably seen
Instead
over
of
on Patreon.
giving you their own
And it will be doing the rake behind it.
fantasies
Not
and
only that, it's
visions
always
and
good to have a front row because
prophesying
they
to
tell
you
them on the farm.
lies. And as you can tell from these
You
other
need
two
that everywhere,
videos next
don't you?
to us, is insubordination.
Oh yeah.
They talk so much about obeying the
And
Most High, about
when you
obeying
have, if you
Yahweh,
ever been out and watched
Elohim,
farmers do it,
and yet
they'll
when it comes
usually have two
to
tractors running at one time.
obeying
And we got,
Yahshua HaMashiach
let me see, and
and
then we have the
obeying
roller.
the Father,
And this thing cannot pull that
Yahweh,
roller. That one can. And
he
so
can't
this
do
is
any
like
of
a
those.
60 or 65
He's
horse, something like that, you know?
rebellious,
I know
stiff-necked,
this cap is not on that
he's
hydraulic line, though.
uncircumcised in heart. This whole
And this one
25 plus years
over here is
of
like, I think it's a
running his
90.
mouth
It's either a 90 or 100
proves
horse,
that
and that's
he's
a
been
big
a
deal
heathen
because
from the very
that little one
beginning.
can't do that. So
And liberals and
it's
conservatives
just
up
good
here,
to be able to have this type of equipment right
people
here
know that
because, again, not only can we supply hay for
he
the
still has
community,
that
but communities like
501c3.
the two communities that's down there close in
So
Tennessee,
let's
Brother
continue the
Sean
video
and
here.
Brother Ron and Steve and them lay out for a couple of days. All right, myself and my son JC,
Let's go.
we're out here looking at the new addition to the family. And somebody said, well, what in the world you need that tractor when you have this big old behemoth? And make no mistake about it, this is a big one. Been raining a lot.
Let's not forget, people, those of you who are still sending money to Stray Truth Ministry, Charles Dowell Jr., and the rest of his henchmen, his criminal organization, this is the kind of garbage that money goes to. Mind you, this false prophet, yeah, he has told you so many times that war's gonna happen, this is and that's gonna happen, get ready. Oh yeah, your life that you know it is over, so get ready, and everything else. We're in 2025 and things have still yet to happen, as proclaimed. Another events he said that was going to happen, they're not coming to fruition as it is. So if they declare this to you something that doesn't happen, you can freely unsubscribe from such individuals. Besides, most people don't watch his videos anymore here. So most of his 214,000 subscribers, worthless. It's all a facade.
So it's been muddy out here. Well, I'm going to explain to you for a second. And again, that's the reason why I continually keep saying that Israel needs to be an agricultural people.
People can grow their own vegetables and raise their own livestock. However, this individual wants you to get onto their private properties that he owns through his foundation. That NFL player, Green Bay Hall of Famer, Kabir, instructed him to make. And he wants to put on his front before the masses of people. And Jesus, Yeshua, warned you about these kind of individuals when he gave his proverbs and his lessons to people. He told you about these quote-unquote workers of good who get out here in front of you and tell you, oh yeah, look at all these great things I'm doing for everyone else here. But behind the scenes, they're full of uncleanness and dead men's bones. And they are hypocrites. and they rule people with an iron fist. And those who are actually following Yeshua HaMashiach are not supposed to do so to his taught ones, neither anyone else of his sheepfold. Those who are in the sheepfold are supposed to serve instead of being served. And so that demon-infested vessel called Charles L. Jr. wants to pretend and use great words and fierce speech to try to convince the majority of the people in the world so that he can take them into the pit, otherwise the ditch, to keep them blind and have them fall down with them. So all you people who are giving this individual Charles L. Jr. money, you may want to take him to court and go to your Cash App, go to your Venmo, go to your PayPal and everything else, and file in a refund request and everything else. Just do what you gotta do to get your money back, because the FBI and all these other government agencies are watching this false prophet and rogue government asset, and they're finding out just about everything they can. Who's giving money, why they're doing X, Y, and Z, and so forth, who's commenting, who's supporting their videos, and everything else. And some of them probably have access to the Patreon too. So those of you who want to be accomplices and help this pretender, you're going to learn the hard way that you've been supporting Jim Jones, RG Stair, and the rest of those kind of individuals out there in the road, who you know that they're monsters, they're full of evil, and when someone tells you, hey, look at all this evidence over here, you're like, oh no, please, don't, I don't want to, please, just don't, just let me cover my eyes, please let me cover my ears, I don't want to hear nor see this. However, when Hitler grieved Germany and they pulled the rug underneath his propaganda machine, people found out he was a corrupt individual. Not only did the German army turn on him and help the countries take down the Reichsmarch, otherwise the Nazi Party, to fight against it and to hand over Germany to the Allies, it got worse too. When people found out they were just doing their job, like all these individuals at Straightway Truth Ministry, who think they just have to do their job and do whatever Charles L. Jr. tells them, because he only quotes certain parts of the scriptures and then lets them think they're going to go to the kingdom if they do every evil scheme he tells them to do, and they refuse to read for themselves before and afterwards so that they can realize, hey, wait a minute, Joab did not have to keep that command of King David. Joab refused to follow 100% the order of King David. Joab refused to number the Levites. So as a result, Joab did not fulfill the command of King David, and as a result, judgment came for the result of that work. King David was actually still serving the Most High, and so that happened to Jerusalem, to the Israelites. However, Charles L. Jr., he's just pretending. He's one way in front of that camera, but in real life, that's not even what you call a quote-unquote person, a quote-unquote human being. There's something evil trying to use that body to convince you to obey it and trying to give you a reason to do everything it tells you to do when it's gonna burn. Oh yeah, so here's a bonus too. Since they like to say, quotes from oldies music, from old school music, after the road sort music, here's a good little nugget right here. There's an oldie song where it says, "Burn, baby, burn. Burn, baby, burn." Yeah, it's one of the songs that the melanated folks made. And that's when people were really listening to some serious music that was good to the flesh. So those of you who still listen to that stuff, you may want to think twice when it comes to some of this old school hip hop, rap, oldies music, as well as rock music too. That stuff can mess you up. You be listening to stuff and the next minute, you're wondering, what just happened to you? Why are you thinking this? Why are you acting like that? Or, worst case scenario, you're acting funny, thinking funny, and want to do some funny and questionable things as a result of listening to that stuff. So check twice what you're listening to, because obviously this heathen on camera trying to talk in front of the camera, Charles L. Jr., is obviously not set apart. He loves himself some rock music and some of that garbage out there too.
So we go with John Deere because we know it's the best. But that right there is the cutter. And we use one for cutting. And we'll let it lay out for a couple of days to dry after that. And then this one would have that rake that you've probably seen over on Patreon. And it will be doing the rake behind it.
Here's a bonus too. The government knows this, and some of you who are uninformed, with all those acres of private property that he owns, the land's supposed to be overflowing with vegetables, fruits, and animals. Ever since Pastor Rufus and Elder Brent disconnected and left Straightway Truth Ministry, and they found out what it really was, Straightway is greatly lacking in beef. Maybe Charles L. Jr. needs to go vegan because he can't handle the beef. That's a good one right there, huh? And so this hypocrite and pretending in front of you, before you on camera, he ain't really about that country life. It's all a front. You ever see a hole in the wall? It looks good. You go in there expecting some good quality service, and then you find out, hey, wait a minute. This is a hole in the wall. I gotta get out of here and find something better. I'm telling you, people are speaking up now, and you better put some salt and pepper on this and chew up real good.
Not only that, it's always good to have a front loader because tell them on the farm, you need that everywhere, don't you?
It's a smaller bucket. It'd be good to use for wood. It's a smaller bucket. What else I use for?
Oh yeah. And when you have, if you ever been out and watched farmers do it, they'll usually have two.
Well, let's not forget too. Why are these individuals and those private properties say that they're free, that they're out of debt and everything else, but when it comes to the internet and them making their own choices, if they're gonna keep the faith out of their free will or do everything that Charles L. Jr. tells them out of compliance, where's their freedom at? Why are they more oppressed than a 9-to-5 slave? What's really going on here? All these individuals should know better. They should know about Jim Jones. They should know about R.G. Stair. They should be able to ask questions about Charles L. Jr. to his face. Ask him about this, ask him about that, and get some clear information without him hiding or dressing up anything. They should have some clear transparency from Charles L. Jr. but he refuses to do so. And even if he listens to this video, he's just going to turn around and spin it because he's a witch, wizard, warlock, sorcerer, Satanist, and the whole 9 yards. He's into the dark arts. And he's not going to stop until he, lifts his head up in torments. That's pretty much by then when he's going to shut his mouth. Because everything that comes out of his mouth is nonsense and garbage. And vomit, too. Why do these people keep listening to him? Oh yeah, that's right. He's a pit viper. He keeps filling them up with his deadly venom, his deadly poison. And they struggle to leave that organization, that 501c3, because he keeps loading them up with demons, curses, and spells and everything else. That way he can keep them underneath his control. He can sit there and tell you that 2 plus 2 equals 3, and they'll agree or go with it 100%, pretty much. There's only so many people left who don't want to be there at all, and they are convicted that this is not of the Most High. So what they're trying to do, they're trying to find a way to get out if they can. And there are those who know better. They don't want to speak out of fear, but there's a mere mortal man trying to talk all tough and everything in front of the camera and sound important and use smooth, soft, great, swirling words, and wear soft, effeminate, shiny, expensive apparel.
2 tractors running at one time. And we got, let me see, again, we have a roller. And this thing cannot pull that roller. That one can. And so this is like a 60 or 65 horse, something like that, you know? I know this cap is not on that hydraulic grind, though. And this one over here is like, I think it's a 90, it's either 90 or 100 horse. Another big deal because that little one can't do that. So it's just good to be able to have this type of equipment right here because, again, not only can we supply hay for the community.
Why does this individual want you to remember all these things about mechanics and about what he says and what he wants, like the rest of these 9 to 5 CEOs and corporation owners? Why do all these individuals try to get up there and sound so friendly and so hospitable in front of the camera, such as Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama? What else? What's her name? Kamala Harris and the rest of them. But behind the scenes, they're grievous wolves. They're wolves in sheep's clothing. So Charles Dowell Jr. is still part of the system, and he talks just like the system, like the people who own and run and serve the system, especially off camera too. Why do all these individuals want you to remember the Holocaust, but forget Black Wall Street? Why do they only partially mention Black Wall Street, but they do not want to go back to Wall Street? Oh yeah, and here's the kicker too. Charles Dowell Jr. had Michael Israel and the rest of those heathen over there to install cameras in his private properties. And then they live in the countryside too. They're not trying to make their own vehicles. They're not trying to make their own technology, their own products and so forth on that kind of level. They're not trying to come out of her, my people. They're only trying to get you in the countryside so they can control you. And if you say, this place is a joke, I'm out of here, then they're going to try to drive all the way to basically chase you down and try to cuss you out, use the scriptures to try to cast spells and curses and loose demons unto you. These individuals want you to remember on the down low the Holocaust, but forget Black Wall Street. With all these millions of dollars all these people have given to Charles L. Jr., they're not trying to go and restart Black Wall Street. They're not trying to make Wall Street 2.0. They're not really trying to get people out of bondage, out of captivity. They're trying to use all this lying, all the stage playing, and political theater to get you into bondage and everything else. And when you're up there on that stage, or even in the quote unquote pews in those rows, those seats, just like R.G. Stair, he wants to be a pulpit bully. He wants to sit there and punk people from behind the pulpit. And here's the other thing too. Plenty of those individuals on that land, those lands, own guns. And so they've been taught about, oh yeah, if you have a false prophet, if you have an adulterer, if you have X, Y, and Z and so forth, they have to be stoned. They have to be put to death. So why do all you people over there, you individuals at Straightway Truth Ministry, suffer a witch to live? Why do you suffer adulterer and adulterers to live? Why are you not turning Charles L. Jr. as well as Corey Phillips and Daniel Mayer into Swiss cheese? Oh yeah, that's right. You over there are part of Psalms 83. You're part of the system, and you're oppressing, conspiring, and spiritually attacking the children of the Most High, the children of light. And here's the dead giveaway too. Why do these system people or system individuals want you to remember the Holocaust? You know what that is, right? That is white on white crime. Oh yeah, let's go there for a moment too, huh? Why aren't you people talking about white on white crime, huh? Why are you talking so much about black on black crime? Come on, there's a whole lot of history here about white on white crime. And some of these people who have little to no melanin in their skin, and even born in labs too, they kill, steal, and destroy. There's plenty of people out there who are either born in caves, or born in labs, even have some kind of hue to their skin or just look funny because they're what they tell you that they are, cavemen. So you have people who are actually, like for example, some of these redheads, these gingers, and so forth. Why do they have, quote unquote, black features? Why do you have some Europeans who just have, black features? Why do you have Africans who just don't look African? They look like someone else. And why do you have a bunch of, other individuals out here that just have features that make them look like, quote unquote, Afro-Americans? What people try to call Black Americans or African Americans. Why do these people want you to look at black on black crime when you have all this white on white crime? And some of these people who are responsible for white on white crime, they are cavemen. They are the rich as well too. And they like to fund all these wars, all these terrorist organizations, Oh yeah, wait. Hold a minute. Hold up a minute. Straightway Truth Ministry is a terrorist organization. COINTELPRO. Who's really sending all this money to Straightway? Ah, okay. Charles Dowell Jr., you are screwed. Get ready to join Hasatan and the rest of his fallen angels with him, if you even have a soul. If you don't have a soul at all, completely, period, Charles Dowell Jr., just know, from dust you are, to dust you return. Return, O children of man.
But communities like the two communities that's down there close in Tennessee, Brother Rashawn and Brother Ron and Steve and them, man, we can supply.
Alright, let's talk about Rashawn Walton real quick. Was it last year or the year before? There was a mysterious death that happened. That was Rashawn Walton's stepson. Why are some individuals over there at Straightway Truth Ministry mysteriously dying? And why is Charles Dowell Jr. trying to call everyone witches, wizards, or warlocks? Trying to deflect when he's doing all this questionable stuff? Was Rashawn Walton's stepson a sacrifice? So these Pharisees can get on camera and pretend in front of you? Who else has been sacrificed over there at Straightway Truth Ministry without someone actually, using their physical hands to murder, delete, or butcher another individual? Very telling. And Rashawn Walton wants to be a part of that stuff. I mean, hey, he sold his big old house, and he went along with the program. He was hook, line, and sinker, step to step, going along with the process. And that's his reward for serving a so-called last day prophet. The juice was not worth the squeeze, was it? And all those of you who are with the Rashawn Walton, especially over there at the Straightway, Alabama slave camp, the juice was not worth the squeeze. And you rushed all the way just to get on those private properties that you don't have any heritage in. Charles Dowell Jr. owns all those lands, and he tells you that you're gonna go to the kingdom and receive your your inheritance over there. You should be left speechless, your jaw hitting to the floor right now. You should be, anyone else listening from Straightway Truth Ministry, you should be packing it up and shipping out as soon as possible. Straightway Truth Ministry is finished. You have blood of people over there that's probably crying out right now still. And the blood of Abel was remembered against Cain. And Yeshua HaMashiach also talked about how there's going to be a generation that's going to come forth where the blood of the prophets, as well as Abel, is going to come upon them. It's going to be remembered against them. And you still want to be a part of Straightway?
Hey, probably for them the whole winter if they need some. Because they just starting off and they don't need as much, but every time we come up on the Sabbat, man, we just load up a hay bale in the back of the dually, can't we? And if they need more, we can just send them some.
Hey, wait a minute. Aren't you supposed to keep the Sabbath set apart? No labor, no lifting the weights? What else is going on there during the Sabbath? That's a grave disappointment for those who are breaking the Sabbath over there, especially on purpose, You're better off keeping the Sabbath and getting kicked off those lands than to go straightway to hell, straightway to the lake of fire, straightway to the condemnation.
That's how it's supposed to work. When you have a brother and get together in unity. Even Elder Mitchell now, they close. They need some hate.
Straightway is falling apart and it's in disunity. This is all pretending and putting up a front. Oh yeah, now Elder Mitchell and Gregory Pallone. So, to correct that, Mitchell Pallone, his position as quote-unquote elder, that's just Velcro. Those two knew better. They have guns themselves too, and they refuse to hold it down. They refuse to stand in the strength of Yahweh Elohim. Instead, they carry down to a bunch of sissies, punks, and cowards who are doing quote-unquote patrols. Was it Straightway KE, Kentucky? That's supposed to be separated from Straightway Truth Ministry. And those two individuals have the nerve to comply to Charles Dowell Jr. still, and to go to their quote-unquote 2025 Passover convention. Hey, isn't it supposed to be a feast? No, that's a convention. Hey, anyone who's a cop here or part of the FBI or whatever, you have, based on the divine law and law of the land, otherwise known as common law, you have expressed permission to go into those private properties and make arrests. And if, sit individuals who are still part of that 501c3 criminal organization want to resist and, get violent onto that kind of level, you have expressed permission to use the necessary level of force to subdue, take down, or I'm gonna hold that up for a moment. You know what you gotta do. If they go up to they escalate to a 10, you drop it to a 0.
Man, they can come down there straight to Kentucky East. That's how I always think, though. What do you think about it, JC? They call me every name under the sun, especially people who will get out here and listen.
Look at this sissy who can't name names. He wants to sneak this. And look at that phony, lousy, good for nothing smirk on that face. Let's listen to these gossip girls for a minute. Listen carefully.
To disgruntled, demonically, I call him demonically, someone schizophrenic. But
I return those curses back to Charles Dowell Jr., 100-fold, pinned to his forehead, chest, and all pertain thereof to him, by the blood of the Lamb, and set it off unto him, by the blood of the Lamb, in the name of Jesus.
yeah, just levy all these charges and speak about me and cut my name out of guns. But
his name is worth zero value. He's sitting there on all this money he has stolen from people, and he's responsible for a whole lot of crime. And all these Joabs who, if they were to get a promotion, they would bury each other and just throw each other underneath the bus. Oh yeah, all those Joabs over there, if they could be the next elder, the next teacher, the next pastor, they would throw each other underneath the bus and make them appear like dead men, like irrelevant, to where they're almost like they have no status at all, period. Like they're just someone in the background, period. These Joabs over there would throw each other underneath the bus just to get a promotion and even to get their next fix. Oh yeah. Don't be surprised if they're not only getting drunk, but also getting high too. They're chiefing it big time too. They're high as a kite on cloud 9. Don't be surprised that these individuals over there are doing all sorts of things off camera, and when they get on camera, they're actors in uniform. And this is where your money's going to? Come on now, people. Get your money back. They owe you restitution, people. All you people who actually want to keep the faith, want to learn about the Savior, who want to learn about the Father, do not let this drag down your spirit at all. Just get your money back and use that money to serve the Father, the more so in spirit and in truth, and stay encouraged, because Jesus is coming back with vengeance, with great power and great glory. It is also shown in the word too. Vengeance is mine, says Yahweh, and I will repay. So stay encouraged. Do not let these false prophets and false brothers and false sisters drag you down. They only exist for your proving, your testing, your trying. Do you love the Father? Or do you love the Father of lies, Hasatan, and his false prophets? Do you love Yahweh, Elohim, with all your heart, all your mind, all your soul, all your spirit, with all your strength? And do you also love his Son, whom he sent, that he can bring you to the Father, to reconcile you back to the Father? Remember what this is all about, people. This is about salvation. This is about the proving of your faith, to know that you're serious about going to the kingdom and about remaining in his love, that he be with you continually. The Father of lights, also known as Yahweh Elohim.
How long you been living with me, son?
I've been here.
These devils over there, they trick you to jump out of the cities, to run away from your natural family, instead of actually giving it some time and seeing if anyone at all is going to respect your faith and even convert themselves too. And when they get over there, they submit themselves to this heathen who's pretending behind the camera, who's trying to act all polished and pristine and make you think that they have clean hands, but they're over there just rinsing off all the blood off their hands. This sick, disgusting individual, Charles Dowell Jr., he makes people receive him as their spiritual quote-unquote father. What kind of level of blasphemy is that, people? No wonder why some of you are still in bondage over there. You have spells cast on you. You have demons that have not been cast out. There are things you agree to that's keeping you bound. And then you put yourself in the evil soul tie with that demon who goes around wearing white but is full of uncleanness and dead men's bones. You individuals need to know better than to call someone else here on earth your father. Because you have one Father, you're supposed to have one Father who is in the Shamayim, the heaven. Yeshua HaMashiach said, call no man your father here on earth. And that's paraphrasing. He's telling you that if you have a natural dad, you respect him. If you even have a stepdad, what people like to call stepfather, that's a stepdad. So if you have a stepdad, respect him. Be responsible. Don't try to transgress and rage against him as such when he's being responsible. Your stepdad. However, if your stepdad is being wicked, then do what you gotta do to set boundaries, put space between you and them, and if you have to get out of that environment when it becomes toxic, then move away from your quote-unquote stepdad. These individuals say they hear all this word and everything else, and they're still calling another male, especially a beta male, their father. You can't make this up, people. It's right here in front of your face. I'm calling a spade, okay? If you, 2024 has passed away already, he hasn't repented. So don't get mad at me. Take this in prayer. Get aligned with the will of the Father. The Father who's in heaven, the Shemaim, who sent his Son, Yeshua HaMashiach, also known as Jesus Christ.
2017. And of course, here's our workforce that actually went and got well, that thing goes in. You get that tractor and that tractor, and get the backhoe and get everything.
Let's not forget these individuals. They don't get paid. They do all this work, and they hardly have all the things that they need. If things were to hit the fan, and if great tribulation where people gotta, things were to hit the fan and everything else, these individuals are not ready for the great and dreadful day of Yahweh. They're not ready for his return. This is all a joke, a front in front of your eyes that they're doing in front of you. And those who actually do have jobs or careers or businesses, such as Jordan Salmi, he hands over his money, and he bows down on top of it too. Two wrongs does not make a right, okay? These people live to work for a beta male who sits on his do nothing all day, and when he's not sitting, he's either in the gym being a meathead where he spends hours on top of hours just pumping iron just so that he can look big and buff in front of the camera and everything else. And on top of it too, he takes testosterone supplements with it too. No wonder why he sounds like a Viking, a certified Neanderthal. No wonder why people think he's all that in a bag of chips. Casey's over there just pretending in front of the camera. And if he's not pretending in front of the camera, he's hiding behind the camera. Put that in your juice cup and suck on it. How much more embarrassing is this going to get for you individuals over there? Do you really have to lift up your head in the lake of fire filled with shame and disgrace? Come on now. Let's get real, Israel. You say you're Israel? Get real. Come on now. Stop the cap now. Stop playing these games. The Father's going to inspect you and figure out right in front of people. If you don't want to get it right here and now, right at the judgment, when those books are open, your thoughts and your intents are going to be disclosed. So don't try it. Get for real now.
But so all this, some of these negative publicities, and there's some people.
You hear that gossip? You hear all that lip talk, all that lip service? These individuals have nothing better to do than to cackle like a bunch of hens, and be effeminate. I know the blasphemy of those who say they are Israel and are not, but do lie and are of the synagogue of Satan. Oh yeah, and what's that right there on this cap? That's right. This is right in front of your face, people. He right there as well is a Satanist. And he's a certified effeminate male. You, if you know, you know. Because no one should be having any other money one before Yahweh Elohim. And they want to act like men in front of the camera. Don't make me laugh. These jokers. Can someone verify with me if they have some kind of clown costumes, buried in a cache over there somewhere? Do these jokers have clown costumes and makeup over there? Because obviously his women, by good chance, by the appearance of them, wear makeup. Maybe that's why Hezekiah has that weird look on his face when they were on vacation. Maybe some of these individuals on the down low dress up like clowns and do their rituals and such. Because that right there's an idol on that cap. These guys only did what? Or these males only did what? 3 days of hardcore PT, partially, and that was it. And they want to get up here and act like they're hardcore and everything else. Those are Leviathan spirits. Those spirits that make when people want to wear black, as well as trying to be or want to be hardcore. There you have it. Leviathan is comfortable over there at Straightway. And so is Jezebel, the woman who rides the beast, whose cup is full of uncleanness and abominations.
The people who actually used to praise me. And, the book says don't let your own lips praise him, but another man.
That's the other thing, too. People found out who he was, and they realized he's been faking and pretending the whole time. So there's a multitude of witnesses, a cloud of witnesses by the multitudes, beyond 2 or 3 witnesses who can testify that Charles Dowell said he would do all these marvelous and great works unto Yahweh Elohim, and then all of a sudden, when they find out what he's really about, how he is in person, as well as when he's not on that camera, especially when he tries to pretend in front of the camera too, they find out he's been lying on a grand scale, lying big time, and then that's when they would repent and no longer do that. And those of you who still are pushing and going forward, that devil who's trying to be dressed up in all white and talk all smooth, he still has to be exposed. He's fake on the epitome of the grand scale of hypocrisy. And so this effeminate witch who wants to act cool in front of the camera, wants to dig up your so-called past, the things you repented of and everything, and try to use it against you. Whatever they reap, they shall sow, and whatever measure they made unto others shall be measured back unto them.
And so used to be some of my greatest cheerleaders. They can't tell you one thing I've done to them. I hear a lot of noise, but I don't hear one thing that I've done.
That's a lie. He has done so much evil to a lot of people, and some of these individuals have been tricked into becoming clapping seals for him. These individuals really were convinced that if they were to be simped out and bent over backwards, bent over forward, and do all these gymnastics for him, they were going to get an inheritance, get married, get good pay, and live the freedom to serve Yahshua HaMashiach, to keep the faith. And when they found out the hard way, then that's when they no longer became clapping seals. And so he wants to get up here and pretend in front of the camera and lie to your faces.
Hear people regurgitating what other people say, but is this your experience of living here straightway? Tell the honest truth.
No, we still trying to we gotta be all the past now. We still ain't found him yet. It just reminded me a lot of they talk about the songs. It wasn't the one. That was my enemy. It wasn't my brother. It was the one that I wanted to the tabernacle.
That clown right there wants to put up a front in front of you. See, here's the major problem that many of us has to understand, has to comprehend and get. When you see this level of evil out here, and you know the book, and you know what you gotta do and what can be done, this is why the book says, this is why it's written in the Old Testament, suffer not a witch to live. However, people are going to sit back and let Whoopi Goldberg, let Kamala Harris, let all these false prophets, false teachers, and everything else, including these diviners who act like they're spiritual, but they're really plotting against you. There's too many people tolerating such individuals, especially wolves in sheep's clothing, who are men stealing and discreetly kidnapping women and children. Hey, don't point the finger at me. At some level of accountability, all of you out here, especially people out here, individuals out here in the world, are accountable for suffering all these occult practitioners, all these workers of the dark arts, especially witches, to live. When it says, suffer not a witch to live. Oh yeah, and by the way, all these militaries and, police force and everything, they're just hired servants, hired swords. Some of them are certified henchmen. They're there just to do their job, to do their service. They go home and continue with life from there. Some of them do not like their employers. Some of them do not agree. They do not agree nor consent with the actions that their employers, that their bosses, that their contractors do and say. And if it was left up into the hands of those who believe and apply what the book says to a certain extent, they would not allow all this anarchy and chaos to happen in the world. Because here's the thing, all this oppression and evil is because the whole script has been flipped. All these children of the darkness, all these evildoers are sitting in high places, and they're trying to run the show. And those of you who are spiritual, those individuals in high places are being motivated, encouraged, and persuaded to do the dirt for fallen angels, for demons, for high-ranking demons. All it takes is for those good for nothings, those individuals who don't want to repent, to have judgment come upon them, and they even manifest the more so, because some of them are being judged right now still, such as Sean Diddy Combs, Prophet LeVay, the previous Pope, and so forth. These jokers are going to prison, or they're giving up the proverbial ghost, okay? Why does it have to take all this time for the Most High himself, the Spirit of the Most High, of Yahweh Elohim, to move upon the earth, and to give out judgments and decrees in the heavens, the heavenlies, from his throne, in the judgment seats? To say that this person has done enough, cut them off. And then you see the manifestation of all these children of darkness falling down, giving up the ghost, or even strange calamities coming upon them, according to the Book of Wisdom. Why does it have to take all this time for Yahweh Elohim to rise up and show himself that he is the same yesterday, today, and forever? That he is the same yesterday as he was in the days of Egypt, in the days of Mizraim, when he came to rescue his people. Why does he have to rise up to take hold of shield and buckler, to strive against those who strive against us, and to fight against us who fight against us, and to do the job that some of you individuals out here refuse to do? There's been times where the wicked has been given into the hands of to those who are their quote-unquote enemies, to those who hate them, even the wicked being turned against one another to wipe each other out, such as what happened to the Midianites when Gideon was sent to help get his people out of persecution. So, why does it have to take Yahweh Elohim to establish his position as Yahuwah, a mighty man of war, to deal with all these heathens, those children of darkness, those workers of wickedness, for everyone else? But you have to sit back and just pray about this. I'm just going to continue my life and just keep my head down and say nothing about it and do nothing about it. Why does it have to take all this time for him to rise up and do all this work that's supposed to be done? Again, those of you who have a clue, remember to get back into the legitimate spiritual warfare, because they're sending stuff at people, places, and things, and they're not going to stop until they're defeated. Utterly defeated. Okay? So don't play with these ninjas, these Edomites, these Psalms 83 individuals, these brother haters, these people who want to cut you off from the land of the living, because that's what they're about. They're about trying to sacrifice as many of you as they can so that they can keep their riches, status, and power that has been given to them from the devil and the fallen angels.
So now we know what David meant. Well, you see, but it's necessary that you have these experiences. Ain't no wall.
That's where the fighting and the warrings and stuff that Paul talked about, the backbiting, that was always inborn inside the camp.
I return those curses and demons back to the sinners and the source 100-fold, and I set off unto them by the blood of the Lamb, in the name of Jesus.
When you went to these assembly, so we're just reliving exactly what our people went through. So it's a good thing, but like you said, there's not no good righteous man. And you can tell the way how good of a...
Two things he partially got correct, partially to the way they twist and distort words. Where is the good man that is left at Shredley Truth Ministry? Is there any righteous men left, or are they reduced to pieces of bread? and going off into wickedness, just as Ahab sold himself to do wickedness. And what else is really going on there, huh? Are they tearing each other to pieces? Are they biting, devouring each other on the down low and trying to, pleasure over it? And then get up there on stage on a Saturday and try to act like everything's cool? Huh. Go ahead, someone who's got the scoop. Reveal if that's going on or if it's just discreetly not being talked about recently.
Righteous man is about the matter how much you take.
That's true. And that's another key thing I keep telling people over and over again. When the book says by their fruits you should know them, what does the Bible say about a man that refuses to labor and refuses? He's going to come to.
Look at all this deflection, all this projection that he's doing, all this witchcraft that Charles Dowell Jr. is doing. He hardly works. He sits there getting a camera, act all tough and quote scriptures so that he can deceive a lot of you people to join his 501c3 camps, his 501c3 slave camps, to be underneath his organization and his control, manipulation, and witchcraft. That's all he does is quote scriptures and try to twist it to cast spells, as well as send curses and demons and all sorts of evil towards people. And all these people, they're right here on those properties. They see what's going on, and they refuse to call a spade a spade.
The poverty. Yeah, that's what the book says. And the wicked, they always tend to want what the righteous to plenty.
So please explain how this guy's got millions of dollars, or this male's got millions of dollars. And he sits there on the internet all day and watch all our videos. And what's it? Does he bleed once a month? Is he a hermaphrodite or something? Because obviously that crackling hen who supposedly has 800 testosterone, Charlotte Dell, obviously bleeds once a month because they just got nothing better to do than to be a busybody, especially being on the internet all day, trying to send curses and demons and gossip and run their mouth and try to make it look like they're being a man and so tough in front of the camera.
The wicked, I want what the righteous always to plenty.
Please explain why Charles Dowell Jr. is so covetous. He wanted another man's woman. He wants people to build him a mansion. He wants everyone to be his lapdog and everything else. And he just wants. He just wants and he can't get enough. He can't just enjoy himself the millions of dollars he's already stolen from people. His Johnny Walker Blue label. His pills. His quote-unquote supplements. And all this, pleasures he's enjoying. Why is he not satisfied and trying to give all these individuals what they need? Because he obviously has buildings that either him or his close partners in crime live in, such as Douglas Bell, who is so brainwashed and just gone, indoctrinated from where he came from, and all these other Overcomer Ministry members with him. They live in buildings, they have running water, they have food easily and readily available to them. They can get fat and obese if they want to. They have electricity from the grid and all these other modern day amenities and so forth, especially the internet. But yet he wants and he wants and he wants. And any of all these young individuals who are in their 20s, 30s, 40s, and especially part of their 50s, especially, and even in their 10s, he wants them out there working their fingers down to the bone to where they get arthritis, their cartilage wears out, and they can barely walk and even move their body without it grinding, without arthritis, and so forth. And he fills them up with his he fills them up with his deadly poison and venom. That's why they're all bitter. They have they probably have cancer growing in their bodies and don't even know about it. They probably have arthritis and all these other sicknesses just waiting to come to fruition, manifest and explode in them, so that they can enjoy the fruits of death that they've been laboring onto. They can't get the medical care, the needs that they need, and so forth, because Charles Dowell Jr. wants, and he wants.
I was literally telling my woman and my.
And obviously that Johnny Walker Blue Label is really getting to him. He doesn't even know what he's talking about. He's completely turned over to a reprobate mind, and he is cooked. He's a straight up man of Belial. Just like, what's his name? Nabal. Nabal was a man of Belial. That guy must have been stuffing his gut big time too. And he must have been getting drunk, sloppy drunk, wasted. He must have been blazing big time too. And when he grieved Abigail so much, Abigail spoke up, and what happened concerning Nabal came to pass. That burger gave up the ghost, and she got with King David, an actual man. Oh, and those of you who want to know, Charles Dowell Jr. only looks only so big and buff enough just to look good from the camera. He's Mr. Still Your Wife, still your consort, still your girlfriend, still your side piece, still your sister, still your mother, still your daughter. He wants to just hoard them all because he wants. And let's not forget too, he's getting a little too thick around the midsection. He's the motion ocean, making all these waves. What's all that commotion in the ocean? Charles Dowell Jr. Or shall we say, Chunky Dowell Jr. Oh yeah, his wives know about it. They know what's up. Every time he packs on that extra pound or two and tries to squeeze an extra pound or two on them, that's more of him that they had to love. No wonder why some of those individuals over there are still overweight and obese. They can't help themselves. They're bound. And they love to have it so. They're slaves who love their chains. As long as they consent to it, hey, it's them that they have to repent for themselves. And if they're so spiritual over there, why aren't they praying for each other so they can become unbound from the chains of the devil and his demons? Why are some of them bound to gluttony? That's a dead giveaway. And these people want to say, we have love here, brothers and sisters. We have love over here, saints. Yeah, Charles Dowell Jr. pulling a Steve Urkel on you people. Did I do that? Oh, yes, he did. Charles Dowell Jr. exposed.
Young Patrol, when we was at the table,
Mm-hmm.
I said, this is my favorite TV show. We was recording the
Garden.
I said, this is like I can never imagine living here. Like, ever since I came here, when I lived in Florida, I moved to be close among the saints.
Please explain this. They have all these gardens that they're growing, and there's these vegetables, fruits, and everything else, including the animals that they feed, are supposed to be in top condition. Why have all these individuals have been coming down with sicknesses, illnesses, and such? Are they washing their vegetables, fruits, and everything else to make sure there's no chemtrails on it? Oh, yeah. That's a big red flag right there. They only have so many greenhouses, and they want to get up there in front of the camera and talk to you about these chemtrails and everything. Stop the cap, sir. Stop the cap, period. Stop playing these games now, okay? And they have all these issues they want to sweep underneath the rug. And if they're even remotely healthy at all, period, they're over there working their fingers to the bone. And if they even get rest at all, they have to use the Sabbath just to get rest. And those females over there, those wives that they even have a wife or a concubine, these males over there are worked to the bone. They go to their houses, they're tired, they just want to eat, and probably sleep all the rest of the time they have until they gotta go wake up and do it again. And some of these females don't get enough time for their husbands, from their guys, their males. They don't have enough time to on that kind of level train up the children, raise them, teach them the way they should go in, to teach them the law, statutes, commandments as they should. Oh yeah, let's get a little more personal here too, huh? They may not have the ability to express themselves as men to cover these women and protect them from any harm and evil and any concerns out here that they would have, because they're practically living, $50 per head, either each week or each month. So they basically have to live off top ramen money. Oh yeah, that's right. Top ramen money. Brutal. They want to get, Charles Dowell Jr. wants to get up here in front of camera, in front of your faces at Cracker Barrel, and talk about how they go to Cracker Barrel to eat. There's a whole lot of pork over there too. So are these individuals just pretending to be Hebrews in front of the camera? Are they pretending to be Israelites? Because if you have said individuals going to Cracker Barrel on the down low eating unclean foods, and then they have to live on $50 per head either each week or each month. Oh boy. That means that they had to go get themselves some either supplements to keep themselves from falling apart, from crashing and burning into the ground, being exhausted, going to the hospital, collapsing, probably dead at the work site, or even from passing out, or having some medical emergency and needs showing up to where it would cause them to go to the hospital or be in critical care. And these males over there, these guys who want to be tough guys in front of the camera, in front of your side right here, oh boy, they want to act so bold and everything else. And the kind of drink that they even get a drink is either alcohol and who knows, probably some Kool-Aid. Oh yeah, that's right. Don't drink the Kool-Aid, people. Do not drink the Kool-Aid. That's that stuff you may want to look into, the red 40 and everything else. That Kool-Aid's practically unclean to you as well too. So these individuals on those slave camps want to get up here and pretend to be men when they are the epitome of beta males and hypocrites. Oh yeah, we're going to pull the gloves off on this one right here. No padding, 0-ounce gloves right here. This is all tape right here on the knuckles. These beta males over there who are simped out and they consent and love to have it so because they're convinced this is the way, the truth, and the life. These males are in big trouble. And they barely have any husper in the tank to provide food, clothing, housing, shelter, as well as conjugal rights to these females. That's right. These males cannot take care of their wives, their concubines, their females. That's right. They can't, they're not quote unquote certified plumbers. Laying that pipe, laying the pipe so the flow and whatever leakage there is could be flushed out. So these wives, concubines, and females of theirs are frustrated. That's right. They are frustrated. They probably don't have their needs and all the other needs met from these males. And guess what? While they're busy working their fingers to the bone, Charles Dowell Jr. is getting it abroad as a effeminate male, as a Mac Daddy, as a pervert, a pedophile, and a filthy, disgusting pig, pervert, and sicko and weirdo. He's going over there and scoping out all the females, finding out who can he move in on, just like the devil moved in on Eve. And you can go read the Apocryphal books too. The devil himself impregnated Eve. That was the first child that they had. So Eve got pregnant, to keep it in context, by the devil. And that was the first child that Adam had to raise. Why is straightway not having children like they should be having? Why are they not popping out babies left and right? And all these recently born children, people can verify this. Oh yeah, and let's just say people were to go to the the quote unquote B system over here, the quote unquote hospitals and so forth. Can all these children be tested to find out if they're 100% genetically the dad's child, and they're not the Most High knows. Charles Dawes Jr.'s been laying down with all these women committing fornication, adultery, and everything else. And who knows? He might have tried to pull a that kind of move on someone else. It'd be a shame if that was true, wouldn't it? It'd be a shame if some of these males were to be one of the unfortunate guys to father someone else's child, and they want to get up here in front of the camera and tell you they love the Most High, get behind me, Satan. Yahweh rebuke you, and I rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
Then when I lived off land, I could never ever imagine going back off land, living close to the sea. Every life that I prior lived, I could never go back to imagine living. So it's just when God knows we can tip me, it's great game. I don't know what everybody's looking for. I don't know what everybody's expecting. But there's a lot of stuff that you do behind the scenes.
Go, anyone who wants to read some scriptures, go pull up Deuteronomy 28 and read you some of the benefits if you keep the law, statutes, commandments. Oh yeah, that's right. You're the baraka, the good things, the benefits of Yahweh are upon his saints in the fields and in the cities. So some of us have to be in the cities for reasons, and not just for the natural reasons. Maybe the Father has some of us in the cities for reasons. What a revelation. Wow. And people are convinced they have to go live in the fields and only the fields. Stop the cap. Just go to the sink, wash up, and get that clown makeup off your face, okay?
We'll never go
Well,
record.
I'm not there to appease the conscience of the public. They believe what they want to believe.
That's a lie right there too. He is grandstanding, trying to woo all these people, make him think he's numero uno, and he's far from the truth. He is the complete opposite. You can go look up what bewitching is. It's when someone is doing witchcraft on people to try to trick and deceive them to like them, to do charismatic witchcraft on people, to make people fall in love, to like, receive, and just play along with someone who's just running their mouth. That's Charles Dowell Jr. for you. Someone who cares so much about the court of public opinion. He just can't stop talking about Pastor Rufus, can he? He can't stop talking about all these people who are really exposing him. And since he likes to measure himself to other people, he's all the way down here. Little Prophet Dell's all the way down here. And anyone else who's just keeping the faith is just going higher, higher, and much higher in elevation, especially in the spirit road too. This joker has nothing, not even in the leagues of the real saints, because all the credit, thanks, appreciation, the power, authority, and dominion belongs unto Yahweh Elohim, the Father who made the Shemayim, the heaven, the earth, the sea, and all that's in it. And by him they are sustained. And whenever he's done with certain things, he holds back his hand, they are alarmed and return back to their dust. So stop playing with the Creator. Stop playing with the Almighty. Stop playing with Elohim. With Yahweh Elohim.
But what I always say is this. Look at the time, energy, and effort that people put in stuff and then look at straightway. Look and see what their life.
Straightway is a laughingstock. What, 25 plus years? And they're this behind? Get your popcorn, people. Get your popcorn. This whole thing's a hole in the wall. Straightway Truth Ministry is a hole in the wall.
About and then tell them to show you what they produce in life, and then look at straight. That's enough said right there.
Charles L. Jr. wants to get in a camera and tell you, oh yeah, we don't live in glass houses. But he wants to go look at people's good works unto the Father, all their fruits, their faith with works. And he wants to sit there and be a hater. He wants to hate on them. And the thing too, he probably hates on them too because, he's really small, tiny, microscopic. He can't really be on that kind of level, so he's really, trying to compensate for where he's shortcoming in. So when he sees someone such as Ringo TV, Ringo, Pastor Rufus, and everyone else who's either live in the countryside, just being about their business, even someone who's about the Father's business, even as well as those who are in the city doing the Father's business, he wants to get in a camera and hit on them. Everyone else can produce all these fruits that are stacked up to here, and Charles L. Jr., he wants to deflect. He wants to lie to your face and present this hole in the wall that just seems so mystical when it's so empty and full of dead men's bones and uncleanness too. Those individuals over there at Straightway Truth Ministry are a joke.
Throw the hat in right there. Game over right there. By that fruit you gonna know. Hey man, what's up?
Yeah, we see Straightway Truth Ministry, and more people are learning what kind of fruits you're about. Rotten fruit, nightshade, and all the things that lead to death, happiness, negativity, and destruction, and all the fruits of the devil, the fruits of the works of darkness, the rewards, the wages of unrighteousness. And all these vegetables are growing, all these fruits are growing, everything else, it's all in vain. It's not going to be remembered. All these years of them breaking their back and growing all these plants and raising up all these buildings and doing all these soft skills, if they're not with the Most High and they have not been doing this unto the Most High, they're not trying to take these skills, abilities, and talents and gifts and everything else that they received and been taught off a straight way to actually go do the will of the Father. This is all going to be vain, especially if they grieved the Ruach HaKodesh and he's no longer with them. Those individuals over there at Straightway are finished. No matter how much they try to present to you X, Y, and Z, this factor, that factor, this reason, that reason, and try to give you this hole in the wall, they're finished. They do not stand a snowball chance in hell at the judgment. Put a fork, no, don't put a fork in it. Put a trident in it. They're finished. They're done. Okay? Anyone else who's left the Straightway Truth Ministry who needs to get out, the door's closing, and obviously we didn't build the ark, and we obviously didn't build the door either. We didn't open it, and we don't shut it. We're not the ones shutting it. But hey, we're at least those who at least want to make it to the kingdom, they can at least appreciate being a a doorkeeper, otherwise a gatekeeper. So when they see you trying to rush in here and you're not trying to repent, you're just trying to run for your life. You're trying to save your hide, you wolf in sheep clothing, you goat, you tear, trying to save your own backside. We're going to put our hands out and say, you shall not pass. Oh yeah, wait till the king comes and brings the New Jerusalem on the new mountain. When the new mountain is established, the New Jerusalem is set on that mountain. You children of the darkness, you children of the devil, you try to get in another way, even those angels can snatch you up and escort you, pack you up and ship you out to where you need to be going off into. No way you're gonna try to get in, through, or around, or over, nor beneath it. You're the ones over there straightway. You over there straightway are setting up your fates. You don't want to come out and repent legitimately. Don't get mad at me, nor get mad at the king. Neither get mad at the judgment either. You made your voluntary decisions. You have all these opportunities given to you. What is it shown in Isaiah 56, not 56, 65? He has had his hands stretched out back to gainsaying and back talking people all the day long. And then go read Proverbs 1. Because you wouldn't listen, when your judgment comes, it's going to be a spectacle. When your judgment comes upon you like a whirlwind, like a raging wind, the Most High is going to be looking forward to your to the manifestation of your judgment. And I'm just paraphrasing here, so go read for yourself.
You just want to run in the mud water, don't you? Yep. And they go to family. They go to family right there, some of them. But you hear him that right That little boy, he love his daddy, don't he? And what a beautiful ministry we do have, though, huh? Hey, man.